morning. Hi, Monique. Hi, Candy. Is it Clelia? Ah. Hi, Sam. Ego. Welcome back. I'm truly, truly impressed by how prompt everyone is. Like 11 o'clock, even before 11 o'clock, everyone is like lined up.
On the door. Let me.
Yeah, you can't wait. The eagerness
Yeah.
is appreciated. And this is our last session together. While we're waiting, I just wanted to remind everyone of how we ended off yesterday. That this process is not about just finding solutions to, the communal issues and, solutions around, democracy. It's also about asking questions, and that in doing this work, it also generates new questions that maybe you didn't anticipate. And we ended off with me asking you to think about what is the unthinkable thought that you have or the unthinkable question that you have. And Dagan assured me that he has many of those. And I said that I would start with him. But we'll give it a minute because I just wanted to refresh everyone on how we ended off and to just think about that question you want to share with us. It doesn't have to be as big as the one that I shared yesterday. It could be anything, any question that you're holding. Because I think this is what this community is here for,
Sorry, Luando, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yesterday I left the meeting like 3 minutes prior the end because my battery died and I didn't realize it was low. So if you could just repeat super quickly so that I'm on the
Yeah.
please, thank you.
So yesterday, because we were doing the test design, and that exercise also asks questions. What assumptions are you holding? And leading from that, I was saying that, we're always talking about solutions and solving things, but sometimes there are questions that maybe we don't want to verbalize because we don't know the answer. And maybe there's a fear we may never know the answer. Or maybe as you're doing this work, some scary questions are coming up, and to the scariness of it, let's just share it. And I shared that my unthinkable thought, my unthinkable question is, what if this doesn't end well? And what I mean by that is that, growing up in South Africa, and I know some of my American friends also share the sentiment that you're told that things will get better, that things will end well. And the more that I live, the question becomes, but what if it doesn't? So that is my unthinkable thought. It's hard to even articulate it because it sounds like, doomsday. It sounds, we live in the era of hope. That's what people want to hear. And here you come with your question of, well, what if that doesn't work? But what I've learned is that in asking the question, there's a favorite quote actually that I want to share with you. It's by Rilke. And here's the quote. He says, I want to beg you to be patient towards all that is unsolved in your heart and to try and love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books that are written in a very foreign language. Live the questions. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live into the answer. So I think of the work, I think what you're doing, what your projects are, what the Europe Challenge is living a question. And gradually, as we live these questions together, we can get to a solution, right? But it's not about being scared of the questions. So my invitation to you all was to share with me, what question are you thinking? It could be an unthinkable question, or it could be something as small as, will this become a reality? Do we have what it takes to make this a reality? Will we be able to sustain this? So whatever it is, I think this community should invite those kinds of difficult questions without the need to solve them for our colleagues, but to just listen. Also, if you have a question, but maybe you're not comfortable enough to share it yet, you can also just let me know in the in the chat that I have a question, but give me some time along this journey. Maybe I'll share it. Oh, Candy, do you want to go? Is that your hand up or not? Morning.
Nice. Yeah, to everybody. When you posed that question yesterday, the first thing that popped my mind, and I thought that maybe I should stay with that, though if I, think it aloud, maybe it sounds weird, was a question like, do I wish the world to continue without me or not? And could be a personal question that has to do with my survival and the world, me, that I love it or not, challenge me or not. But maybe it has to do also with like me as member of a human race in a world where the environmental crisis becomes more and more harsh, and we live in the Anthropocene. Like, I don't know. Yeah, this is my question. Do I wish the world to continue without me or not?
Let me just
maybe I will not analyze.
Yeah, and this is not about answers, but also just showing the courage of expressing that out loud, because you'd be surprised how many people have had that same thought. Hi, Sam and team. We're just picking up from yesterday, just sharing our unthinkable thoughts or the questions that we are living. Dagan posed a question of, can the Middle East find common ground? And he said, he has no hope at this moment. We just had Candy share about, do I wish for the world to continue without me? Both very profound questions that also resonate with how I'm feeling in this moment. So the invitation is to share questions that you are living. Because if we live with these questions, perhaps, as the quote says, we can gradually find ourselves in the answers and the solutions, right? And I think part of living these questions is sharing them out. Is there anybody else who wants to share a question? Again, it doesn't have to be a big existential question. It could be related to your project, a question that you have. Yes, please.
I think a lot of these questions also resonate here. I think it's about doing or trying to do the good thing. And my unthinkable question at the end of yesterday was not only my unthinkable question was, what if I make things worse? A simple example here in the Netherlands, there was a time where werkloosheid, not having a job for a certain amount of people was high. So one of the solutions that the Netherlands offered was to give these people workshops and to invest in them. And I think in the beginning everyone thought it was doing good, and it's helping people and it's helping society. But after 10 years, they did some studies, and it turned out all those people who had no job and did workshops only were jobless for a longer time. So when they finally applied for a job, their new employee looked at the resume and just saw a very big working gap. So the question is, well, did it actually help?
I'm going to put my hand up to say that is a question I ask myself all the time. If that resonates with you, please also put your hand up. And the reason why, a couple of years ago, I read an article. They say that the Chinese have a foreign policy philosophy that you never fix a problem, you only create a new one. And I remember reading that, and it messed me up, because now I'm always thinking of the possible harm that I could be causing when I'm solving a problem. And part of my ethos is to do less harm, but we don't know what we don't know. And that's why yesterday I was asking you about the weather, because part of what the weather teaches us is our lack of control sometimes, but that you still try and make things work, even in circumstances where you don't have full control. It's not about resigning ourselves to, I can't control the weather, therefore I'm not going to do anything, but you still find a way. So thank you for sharing that. Is there anybody else? Again, if you have a question, but you're not ready to share it, you still grappling with it, you can just let me know in the chat that I'm still thinking about it. Yes, please, Ego.
Yeah, so I think I can add up with Dagan as well about the political situation, especially in Lithuania, because there's a Suwalki gap. I think it's called, I read even last year on the paper, it's one of the most dangerous places to live at the moment because of the war happening in Ukraine and Kaliningrad and Belarus, right on the border. So I think it's quite, when you think of it and you think, what if it gets worse, with the war situation as well. And the other question, not political one, maybe more philosophical one, it would be, what if we are dreaming and not living? What if it's all just a dream? So
what if it gets worse, and what if it's all a dream?
Dream, yeah.
Well, there's a philosopher who states that. He is a Swedish philosopher. I just can't pop up his name in my mind, but he kind of considers that a bit like the Matrix. Is it a kind of virtual reality that we actually live in?
Yeah, I guess I didn't make that up, but I just heard somewhere, this question. So,
how does it feel to say those two questions?
I don't know. One is a very uncomfortable one because you have to face your fears, and the other one is just, it depends on the mood, and the lifestyle you're living at the moment.
Yeah. Again, this exercise for me is about understanding that we do not do this work under perfect conditions. We do this work, under, such big questions that are scary, that are uncomfortable, right? But part of having courage, part of living is making plans even under imperfect conditions. There's another quote that I want to share with you. One of my favorite writers ever, his name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. He says, resistance must be its own reward. Since resistance, at least within the lifespan of the resistors, almost, never comes to completion.
Yeah.
You don't see the rewards in your lifetime. So resist to be good for its own sake, not because you're going to see the results in your lifetime. So that's the other difficulty, that even with all the big questions that we hold, there's still virtue in resisting. And when I say resisting, there's still virtue in doing this work, because the work that you are doing is in resistance to conditions that you have diagnosed in your communities and your libraries. So that's what I want to offer you, that the work that you're doing has to be good for its own sake, not because you're going to see some big reward at the end of it. You have to think it's good, even if you can't see the reward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what I also want to share with you is I'm not going to be here with you until the end of the call, because I have a flight to catch. At a point, I'm going to drop off. So I want to do the closing with you now. And also I want to say thank you in advance for accommodating my early departure and understanding my circumstances. I want to thank the ECF for their flexibility and Dagan for rejigging things to enable me to meet my flight. That's what this work is, right? It requires flexibility. So what I want to leave you with, if you have a quick answer, please share it. If not, Inka, please remember at the end to maybe ask people to write it in the chat or to email us or to say it if there's time left at the end to answer the question. Libraries for me and community spaces serve as caring in the forest. So much of the world can feel like a forest, dark and scary. And a library space, a community space, is the clearing in the forest where where you can find some respite. So I think that libraries are safe spaces. They offer protection, they offer shade, they offer fruit in the same way that trees are. And what I want to ask you, our closing question together is, what do you think libraries can do in this moment in time in Europe? What can they be, right? What can they be to you, right? What is the possibility here? So do you get the question? What can libraries be in this moment in time in Europe? For me, there can be a clearing in the forest, a place where people can find some respite, some light, you know, share the fruits, the communal fruits of this tree. So I want to pose that question to you. You just have 1 minute. What's your gut telling you? What's emerging? Our library or our community space at this time can be a place of, yes, Sam?
We're thinking it can be a safe space and a beacon of hope. It's somewhere to go to escape the realities that's going on just now, but it can also be a space to learn about things and want to engage in more as well. So it can be a beacon of hope information as much as it can be an escape for what's going on just now.
A beacon of hope in a safe place. Does that resonate with anybody else in the room? Can we have one more? Yes. If you feel like there's something to add on that. Yes, Katrine?
I have like an uncommercial place where I can express myself without someone expecting anything.
Expressing yourself without judgment.
Oh, nice.
One more. Yes, Clelia, Celia?
Celia.
Sorry, yes.
Just the word union comes to mind.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Like in sense of collectivity.
Collectivity, community, union.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing so deeply with me so early. I really appreciate it. Just to go back to day one, where I was invoking this metaphor of a bridge. We are a group of people in our own spaces, but together in this space as well, trying to cross a bridge away from some of the challenges and the issues and towards a new vision that you're all articulating, right? Across this bridge, you require certain skills, which Dagan is trying to impart on you all, and that you're imparting us and amongst yourselves as well. And also to move across this bridge, we need a set of values, right, to get us across. But also we need to have that sense of community where our fears, you know, because traversing a bridge, it can be a treacherous journey. And I think sometimes being able to say that to the people that you're journeying with, that I'm scared. What if we make it worse? What if this vision that we're moving towards is not the right one? So thank you so much for being part of my journey as well, for allowing me to be part of your journey and the movement that we're making across. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the Europe Challenge. So again, thank you for showing up on time. Thank you for being mindful and being present and being here for the work and for each other. So I'm going to leave it there, right? I'm going to hand over to Dagan. If you have anything else that comes up for you, I am watching the chat box. Please put it into the chat box. But for now, I'm going to hand over to Dagan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Luanda. On that bridge, you know, it's not only building that bridge, but also being aware there is not a big ship coming towards you to destroy your bridge. So be aware of big ships. Okay. So yesterday we worked on prototyping, which actually means making your initiative tangible. Something physical, tangible, something you can experience. Today, we are going to focus on telling your story. So, you know, not only, you know, showing it, but telling it. So I will share my presentation. Where is it? Earlier, a few minutes ago, the Dutch team mentioned about being good and sometimes wondering whether you're doing more harm than good, or is it possible to do harm while trying to do good? Well, I take it as a given that you are all working on something that is for the common good, or for the good of your community, for your city, your environment. But it's not enough to be good. You also have to tell it. You have to articulate it. This is something I learned in advertising, that working also for charities, that people who are doing good, and charities, for instance, are mostly very modest. They don't want to brag about it, just don't want to do good. But you are in an early stage of initiative, and it's very important to to be able to articulate what it is that you're doing, and especially so you can inspire people around you to join you on your mission. That's what stories are about, words, but also images. So this will be the focus of today. We're going to talk about storytelling and branding. So first of all, why is it important? Then we have two parts. We'll be writing a manifesto, and then we'll write a cover story. I'll talk to you more about that later. So if you look at branding, it really, the roots of that word come from Old North, which is brander. And it really is the practice of branding livestock. And it's like 4,000 years old, this practice. Though, so when cattle, cows or sheep get astray, that you can find your property back. So it is a way of, identifying a property as being yours. So a lot of people associate branding really with advertising and marketing, but it's really much more. So as I told you in the beginning, I think one of the key elements also of your success is to convince people to join you on your journey. And there are, a lot of initiatives out there. There are a lot of people trying to do good. And people's attention and willingness to participate is very selective. So your idea needs to stand out, has to be different than others. So it has to be something people remember. And branding and storytelling are two essential elements of this communication strategy. So again, it's not about the way things look. It's not about the packaging. It's not about the superficiality of things, but it's about the promise of positive change that can turn your, customers, between brackets, your audience, to become the advocates, not only participating but sharing that story, inspiring again others to say, hey, you should be part of that. So in a way, your initiative needs to become a brand. And some of you already, when reading through the description and the titles, I see some are on the right track and other are a bit more still introvert about it. They have a project name that is very descriptive, others. So looking even at your project name, that will be really something for later on, to examine that well and ask yourself whether that project name has already some excitement in it. That people will make people curious or smile, or, so my company, for instance, I call Changency, and actually it tells what it does in one word, and it's a new word. It combines two things together. So if you look at how it works, so basically you have a product, a service, or a program, and you have an audience, right? And you want to get that audience involved. And for that, you need to have this brand, and you need to have a story And you express that through a visual identity, having a logo, having a set of graphics, but also a tone of voice that is yours, that is recognizable for you. It can be very humorous, it can be provocative, or it can be very serious because you want to convey a sense of urgency. So all those things matter. And then you convey it through media and the media of your choice, whether it's a website, whether it's posters, whether it's PR, etc. So this is kind of a very simple way of expressing the construct of branding and storytelling. So if you look at brands, obviously a few very well-known brands that started by them wanting to change something. So by now, Apple, for instance, is seen as one of the most, if not the most valuable brand in the world. But they started as a challenger of the status quo. They challenged Microsoft. They wanted to make computers that felt intuitive in their use. And even their logo is very simple and very distinctive. Well, Patagonia is another, I think, a beautiful brand that actually celebrates nature, and it's an outdoor brand, and everything about their communications, both their name, Patagonia, as one of the most, I dreamed to get there once in Patagonia in Argentina, supposedly one of the most beautiful places in the world, and everything they do is about showing the power and the value of nature. A smaller brand, Swedish, Oatly, some of you may know it, some maybe not, but it was the first big brand that challenged milk and said, okay, we can have the taste of milk without exploiting land and cows. And before that, there were some brands doing or products in that area, but they really established that brand with a very specific tone of voice, a playful design. But also Extinction Rebellion is a brand with a very distinct tone of voice and a logo. And one of the reason why they are so successful is looking even at the name Extinction Rebellion. That's a very, ominous name, and but it says exactly what they want to do. We kind of we fight against the course of action that will lead to the demise of our world. And one of the founders has a background in fashion and in marketing and branding. So you can see it, and they also create tools. They are known for having toolkits with materials that you can use and you can change. Okay, last example I want to give. This is a initiative that also came from a challenge that I, at that time, run in 2016. It was called the Refugee Challenge. It was a design challenge by an organization I used to work with called What Design Can Do. And it was called the Refugee Challenge. And it was at the midst of the refugee crisis, 2015-16. And the key question was, how can design help improve the reception and integration of refugees in European cities, in the big cities? And this organization is called Makers Unite. And what they do, they connect what they call newcomers, so they don't use the word refugees, but newcomers with certain skills in tailoring or sewing and making clothes with designers and manufacturers in the Netherlands. And they set up programs to basically make garments, make clothes, and sell it. So it's both integrating two peoples together as providing also work. And at that time, they were in a stage like you, an early initiative that had this name and the ideal to do this. And by now, they are very well established and have a lot of programs. At this point, they even have a program together with Patagonia, in which they use the skills of newcomers to repair. So it's really about repair culture. I have a whole repair program now. Okay, so we're going to start with the first assignment, which is writing a manifesto. So maybe some of you already did that or are in some way. But a manifesto is also something that comes from the Greek, and it actually means a public declaration explaining reasons or motives or cause of actions done or planned. So it's from the Latin, so not the Greek, but from the Latin manifestus, which actually means it's clear, it's apparent, it's evident. And the great thing about looking at history is that a lot of revolutionary movements, political revolutionary movements, but also art movements started with writing such a manifesto. But also brands use it by now in a way. They call it a rationale or a manifesto. So today we will work towards writing, and you can continue doing that afterwards. But this is the first exercises of writing a powerful manifesto statement with as goal to align people around your vision and encourage them to take action in support of it. So I'll give you two examples of manifesto just to get you kind of warmed up. So this manifesto goes like this. Here is to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the one who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them about the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some see them as crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. It's nice, huh? So it's a very short one, and you'll be writing a manifesto with a maximum of 100 words. So you should limit that to 100 words, but you can make it shorter. So who do you think this manifesto is by? Somebody has an idea? No? No idea? Yeah?
Yes.
So I'm guessing a big corporate, maybe Adidas or Nike.
Well, you guessed in the right direction. Indeed, it's a big corporate. It's Apple.
Ah.
It's called Think Different, and it was part of their campaign in 1997. So let's go to another one. This manifesto has actually 3 points they want to make. So this is also something you can work with, write a whole story or making your points like exclamation mark. Tell the truth. All institutions must communicate the danger we are in. We must be clear about the extreme cascading risk humanity now faces. The injustice this represents, its historic roots, and the urgent need for rapid political, social, and economic change. Act now. Every part of society must act now to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2025. So mind you, we only have 1 year to go, and begin protecting and repairing nature immediately. The whole of society must move into a precautionary paradigm where life is sacred and all are in service to ensuring its future. Decide together. We demand a culture of participation, fairness, and transparency. The government must create and be led by citizens' assemblies on climate and ecological justice. Only the common sense of ordinary people will help us navigate the challenging decisions ahead. So by whom is this one? Any ideas? Yes?
You think Shell?
Shell?
Yeah.
We wish. That would be nice. If Shell had the ambition to come to net zero next year, that will be awesome. It will, yeah. Unless it's then greenwashing. No, this is Extinction Rebellion. So you see that they are both in terms of a brand in how the color scheme is in their logo as in their manifesto language. Okay, the last one I won't read out because we need to get busy, but I recommend you to check it out. It's called the Care Manifesto, and it's a book. And there is, I will share later on the presentation with you so you can read the summary of it. It was brought to my attention last year by one of the participants of the challenge. And I thought that was really a very nice, I didn't know it, I read it, and I thought it was great to kind of say we need to go towards a culture of care and a society and an economy that is built around care. So that was really very powerful. Okay, so here it is. This is the manifesto. You have a template. Maybe some of you have printed it out. So you can choose to put it in the template or write it down on paper. Yeah, 100 words maximum. And we have, Inka, how much time we have it? We have 20, I think 20 minutes for it.
Yes, let me check. And I just shared the manifesto template in the chat if someone can't find it or doesn't have it. And yes, we have 20 minutes for the manifesto writing.
Okay. So I suggest to get busy.
Yes, and I will send you to various breakout rooms. Those that are already in teams at your offices, you will stay just by yourselves. Others will be paired in two, and Dagan will be jumping from one breakout room to another. So he will help you if you have some questions. So here we go.
Okay. Well, very good. So how did it go? Yeah, went well. Okay, so did you, who wrote it on the computer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, so you can hold your laptop. You can't hold your laptop in front of the camera. Oh, okay, you
Sorry,
can.
we wrote down on the computer
that's good. That's
and printed out.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, now show me, please. So we show all the, yeah. So yeah, the laptop, everything you have, put it in front of you, just as a proof. Catherine?
You just hold on 1 second. I'll transfer the documents in my phone.
Oh, you can also show it. Okay.
Because I have it on my laptop.
Yes, I have it on my laptop too, but I can share the screen if you like.
Oh, yeah. We'll read it out in a bit, but I just wanted to capture this this image. Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay, well, let's share some of the manifestos. That would be great. They're not too long, so it won't take a lot of time. Who wants to start? Who wants to share first? Yeah?
We can start, yes, sure.
Okay, great.
Let's see. Hey, new generation neighborhood experts. Murals are important. They are not just wall paintings. They are a way to express ourselves, share our stories, and bring people together. Murals transform boring spaces into vibrant places and give neighborhoods a voice to be the change themselves. No officials. You are the boss in your own neighborhood. You know best what you need. So take this opportunity to be the change. You decide the design, the colors, the artists. Are you ready to leave your mark on the city together with local artists and tear down walls? Imagine a hard design, cool colors, and a story that touches you. A grey wall transformed into a vibrant meeting space, a new sense of place and a symbol in the city. That's it.
Very nice. Super. Great. Thanks. Who wants to go next? Ah, good, good.
Hi. So we've done it a wee bit like Extinction Rebellion. So we've done 3 subtitles. So we've got Grow With Us, Learn With Us, Recover With Us. So in the soil of our community, we sow the seeds of growth and resilience. Our community garden is more than just a plot of land. It is a sanctuary where we nurture not only plants but each other. Together we cultivate a space where individuals can thrive, connect with nature and with one another. Join us as we plant the seeds of hope and watch them blossom into a vibrant tapestry of life. There we go. In the garden, knowledge flourishes alongside the crops we tend. Here we offer more than just a place to grow food. We provide opportunities of learning, personal development. From gardening techniques to sustainable practices, there are always something new to discover. Come explore with us as we delve into the wonders of nature and uncover the secrets of the soil. Together we can cultivate not only fruits and vegetables, but also knowledge and understanding.
Just. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. Okay, who is next? We have room for everyone. We have enough time. Yeah? Lilia?
Here I go.
Yeah.
You possess immeasurable strength and resilience. Know that you're never alone. Break the silence, take action. Let us unite to create a world where everyone feels safe and valued. Stand as allies, speak up. Together we can build a future of equality and respect for all. Free yourself. Join us at our library. Your voice matters, your story empowers. Short.
Nice and sweet, very nice. Great. Okay. Candy, you want to have a go? Good.
Mine is really short. I just wrote 3 sentences. So it's like, where do the words you read end up in your body? Stretch your body and your mind. Get in touch with others through skin and language. Let's create more space inside us and around together.
That's very nice. Very good. Okay. Egli?
Yeah, we undersigned recognize the invaluable contributions and inherent worth of elderly individuals within our communities. Therefore, we hereby declare our commitment to safeguarding the rights and addressing the needs of elderly people through this manifesto. In referring our commitment to the principles outlined in this manifesto, we pledge to work tirelessly to create a society that honors, respects, and empowers elderly individuals.
Very nice. Super. Well, again, amazing what you did in so little time. I mean, that's really surprises me. Nobody, I checked in with everybody. Nobody was really stuck. So that's good. Okay, so we're going on a break now. And we'll
No,
be
I think we still have Catherine.
Oh, sorry, Catherine,
Yes.
of course. Oh,
Yes, sorry.
she
Just
tried to
let me.
sneak out a bit, but you're out.
Yeah, I have it on the very same screen. 2 days of manga and comic celebration at your library. Experience individual in togetherness. Individuality in togetherness. It's art. It's diverse. It's dark and colorful at the same time. It's slice of life. It's fantasy. Just like you. Come to the library where you are allowed to be you and where you are free to show what's important to you. You will find like-minded people and allies in a place where nerdy is the new normal. This event is free too, because we as a library think that you shouldn't think about money pursuing your dreams. It only needs you to drop by. Yeah.
Very cool.
I really like the claim nerdy is the new normal.
Yeah.
So fun and catchy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have more time to work on your manifesto later on, and then I will review them as well, and will be as well rather critical in terms of where I see a difference sometimes. Some manifestos are kind of very explaining what it is that you can expect. That's not a manifesto. A manifesto, it's on a higher level. It's talking to the people who you're gonna empower through your action. So there are elements in. So Katrin, yours really explains it, what it is that you're going to do. But there are some parts in which you connect to the nerds, and when you say that they might feel, not being recognized by a library because it's a place for books and not of images. So there's a lot of room still to kind of put it on a higher level of aspiration. What are you aspiring to, and talk to the souls of people. Okay, so it's time indeed now for a break. I haven't forgot anyone, right? Inka?
No.
Okay, so
I think everyone presented.
Yeah, let's go for a 15 minutes break, and see you back at 12:30.
Yes. See you in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Okay, I think everybody is back. Good. Had something to eat? Coffee, tea, whiskey? Okay. So let me share my screen again as we move to second part. Okay. But before we move to the second part, let us do a quick poll about the manifesto. Inka, you want to start it?
Yes.
Like yesterday, to understand, get an impression how useful you thought that exercise was.
Yes. Okay, now you can vote.
Okay, 100% is answered.
Oh, yes, I do see. Yes.
Yeah.
So it says it's been changing very much or rather helpful.
Okay. That's not too bad. I'm always afraid of the last point, a waste of my time. Fortunately, nobody did that, so that's good. No, excellent to know. And of course, you'll have much more time to refine that manifesto as being kind of the core of your communication story. But there's obviously more than just a manifesto. So let's move to the second part, which we call the cover story canvas. You all received that template as well.
I'm again sharing it in the chat, so if someone can't find it, now it's in the chat.
Okay. So imagine your initiative being on the cover of your favorite newspaper or magazine. That's the point. I mean, you want to do something that you think is fresh, that is important, and then there is a cover story on your initiative, on your project. Then you see a few fields. The first one, obviously, is what is the headline? Because that's the first thing you'll read. So you have to kind of put yourself in the position of a journalist that needs to capture your initiative in a way that will catch people's attention and wanting them to read further. So part one is, what is the headline of that news item, the magazine or newspaper? Then a short intro. This is really the part that mostly is kind of printed in bold letters, which is also about, I think, 50 words I put in there, maximum of 50 words. I can't read it myself. Is it 50 or 70? No. Anyway, between 50, maximum of, I think, 70 words. What is that intro? Then the next part, the middle part, is about what is the image that should go along with that article, with that cover story. You can either make a rough sketch or describe in words what you see. Okay? Then, aside of this cover story, what media, name maximum of 4 media outlets or channels that are important for you to reach your audience. It can be social media, it can be something in the street. That's really up to you. Think about it and decide on maximum of 4. Then the audience. Who is your target? Who do you want to reach? And also make a distinction between what we call primary and secondary audiences. So who are the most important audience to reach, and what are secondary or tertiary audiences? And the last part we ask you to fill in is a call to action. Describe what you want them to do. Okay, so the centerpiece is really a good headline, an intro, and an image that capture attention. And the other parts are a bit more, let's say, strategic for your communication strategy, audience, and a call for action. Okay, so I think we have for this, I have to kind of revert back to my other document, I think. I'll close.
20 minutes, I think.
Also 20 minutes to fill in this canvas, cover story canvas. Okay? Question?
Sorry, I have a question. Does it have to be related cover story canvas with our manifesto, or it can be any different one?
It is your initiative. So the manifesto is really your own declaration.
Okay.
Usually a journalist will not take your manifesto one-on-one. They will kind of cover that initiative. So it's...
okay.
You might use, if you find there is in a manifesto a line that you can build on for your headline or for your short description, that can be. But again, put yourself in place of a journalist writing about it.
Yeah, but I meant the idea itself.
Yeah.
It could be the same, yeah.
Yeah, of course, it is about your initiative, about your project.
Thanks.
Okay.
So again, I will send you to breakout rooms. One room, yeah. So if you are in a team, you will be by yourself, and the 3 ladies, Candy, Clelia, and Katrin, will be in one room. And yeah, you can write 2 cover stories, maybe all 3 of you, or yeah, however you, or each of you write your own cover story, but you can consult it together.
Yeah.
So enjoy, and Dagan will visit you there.
I will pop in, not immediately, but in about 10 minutes, halfway. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Enjoy, everyone. Okay, see everybody is back. Okay, cool. So can we have the cover story canvases in the camera? Those who have it written down, or otherwise the laptop is also fine. Catherine? Oh, you are on the...
I have it on the screen, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, great. So, who wants to start? At least let's pick three. Let's pick the headline. Let's pick the introduction, if it's possible. Let's do it in this order. Pick the headline, then the image or the description of the image, and then the intro. Okay?
We can start if you would like.
Yeah, okay, Monique and Arno.
So we have two headlines. One is from a clickbait website, and the other one is from a respectable newspaper.
I like that. Very good.
And you have to guess which is who. So the first headline is: there is a new mural in town, and you never believe what it did to the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one is: new mural tells the story about Jamiro, who brings traumatized youth together in new realized skate park. So that's our headline. And if I'm correct, the second thing to share is our
short intro, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The short intro is: colorful mural is the new hotspot in town, a place to meet, a place for stories, start of an ongoing process to tell stories about the neighborhood. The Souder Park was once a routine check by police for vandalism. Now the police shares a table in front of the new mural with local youth and neighbors, sharing stories in search of a sequel.
Very nice.
What else?
In the image?
We didn't really have an image, but I can describe it for you, which is a two-part image. The first image is a bit of a gray area with a lot of stone and not much going on. And the second one is the new mural who enlifts the place with new colors, lots of green, and people.
So it's a very known tool to work with the before and after image.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, very clear, very good, and good that you thought of as well the clickbait, the social media language, and the more traditional media language. It's very clear what is what, in my opinion. Okay, who wants to go next? Yes, please.
We can go. So we read the headline, yeah, and then short intro. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that.
The image or the description of the image. If you have it. If you don't have it, we'll keep to those two.
Yeah, so the headline would be, we wrote down one and then we changed. So guess who's the new black? Late bloomers. So it's the elderly people. Late bloomers, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and the image, sorry, I think we didn't catch that because we made this one and we filled each gap. So where was supposed to be the image?
Oh, the image. I see that you draw something.
Yeah.
That is the image.
So
yeah. Let me.
I don't know if you can see, it's the table and people spending time together and sharing.
And those are elderly people or young people and elderly people?
Sorry?
Those are young people or elderly people?
Sorry, elderly people. So the headline would be the late bloomers and prioritizing dignity and well-being, ensuring quality of life for elderly individuals.
That's the intro.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, the image, I think, is a bit, you have to, it will be a photograph, right, of the article, but having elder people sitting around a table sounds quite boring to me. So you have to think about something that makes maybe more fun or unexpected what are they doing? You know, are they eating something, or are they dancing, or maybe they are not sitting around, they are dancing on the table. So something that, you know, you catch kind of the spirit of what you're doing.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay, who is next? I see Candy smiling. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, so the headline is, what happens when you mix a library with a playground?
Nice.
And I'm thinking of a picture like I drew it, like this. One person is making a handstand and the other is laying, and they're like a twister. They have the leg and the hand together. Could be like words, what is moving you, but maybe the words are not necessary. I'm not sure. And
no, that's nice. You can, you know, Egli, you can use that picture, but use older people, then you got it, you covered. No, just
mixing our pictures.
you're mixing pictures. You put elderly people doing the handstand and lying down, holding hands. Okay, good.
And my short intro is, how about do we have time for this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. How about bringing the knowledge outside of four walls and give it a shake? Our project, A Terrain for Moving Body and Mind, is already set in our schoolyard, and you can use it whenever you have free time. Move through the terrain alone, with a friend or more, grab a book and move together. Rest or knock yourself out.
Nice. However, you wrote that in the we form, but it's an article of a journalist, and he won't take over your we form. He will say they. This is an issue in which they do this and that. So you do rewrite this more from an outsider point of view, looking at your initiative. Otherwise, it will be called an editorial advertising, which is also possible, but then you have to buy the space for it instead of getting free publicity, which is what you want. Okay, who wants to go next? Yes, Sam? Don't speak too fast, Sam.
We struggled, sorry, can you hear me? Yeah. We struggled a bit with the heading as well, so we changed ours to Falkirk Food Friends, Fighting for Our Futures.
Can you repeat that? The headline is now?
Falkirk Food Friends, Fighting for Our Futures.
Okay.
Yeah? Brilliant. So our wee intro is, following a successful year, the John Muir pilot programme, the dedicated members of FIDAM's Level 3 John Muir Group has embarked on a new campaign to show the benefits of growing sustainable, nutritious food and being outdoors for mental health recovery. The group aims to equip their local community with the necessary tools, resources and knowledge to overcome barriers to growing nutritious food.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your image?
We have a picture of the group standing together on the site that we use as one of our partners. I don't know if you'll be able to see that.
Okay.
So that's all the group standing together on the allotment that we use.
Cool.
And that's our image.
Okay. Sheila? I'm always mixing up because it's an L, so it's Clelia. Clelia or Clelia?
Clelia.
Clelia. Okay, good.
Okay, so the headline, I changed it because I followed your suggestion before. So it's Freed Yourself, a path towards autonomy. The short intro is, feeling like there's no escape. In a messy world, it can be hard to find yourself. But once you do, life can be sweet. Through books, arts and crafts, outings in the park, and by simply sharing common spaces to talk and confront, the Freed Yourself project provides spaces for women survivors of violence to come together and share their time to build connections, but more importantly, to find themselves.
Nice.
And then this is the picture. I don't know if you can see it.
3 women
Yeah, sort of like
captured
out of
in
a
a
book.
book. Oh, that's
So,
interesting. Yeah, you already had that.
I was searching a bit because I wanted to find an image that could represent a sort of pathway for women coming out of violence,
Mm-hmm.
but also connected to libraries and books and the whole project.
Yeah.
And there was another picture that I was looking for that was interesting as well. There were a couple of books piled up, and then this woman on top with how do you call it in English? Like a monocle?
Monocle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Telescope.
A telescope, yeah. Sort of like looking forward, which was also nice. But then I thought it was just too outward. I wanted something that would represent the inner pathway. So like coming out of the book was sort of was providing more an
it's
inner
opening up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's nice. Yeah. You know that there is a traditional training for models walking on the catwalk, which is to walk with a pile of books on their head. It was a training so that they can walk straight, not hobbly, but walk straight, and then you keep the training is then keeping a pile of books on your head. It's funny, huh? So it's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Catherine, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Just a second. Have to switch to the other screen. I modified my headline extremely
Good.
because in the beginning I had the idea to pack as much information into the headline as possible, but that wasn't that good. So the new one is manga fans will have a party in silent halls to place their path. So it's something that plays with contradiction, like silent halls is the library, party blazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
And the short intro. Mark your calendars. September 20th and 21st are 2 days where fans of manga, comics, and cosplay should make a journey to Chemnitz. The public library holds its first manga days with a multitude of workshops, free mangas, and creative opportunities such as 3D printing or having your face manga-fied and printed on the title cover of your very own manga. Yeah.
Super, excellent.
The picture is something like that. It's something colorful. So this is a local cosplayer, Miss Nero is her name.
Oh.
And we will have her at our library for this event.
Excellent. Yeah, perfect. I mean, you have very clear, everybody. So we don't have a poll for this, but was it useful? Yep. Okay, great. Okay, so we can round off. I will go to what's going to happen the coming period. What is are the next steps? Let me share the presentation. Well, let me check. Have the right slide in there. Okay. Something went wrong. Wait a sec. Yes. So, well, back at home, you are in home. So back to work, I mean, you have time to refine your manifesto. You'll get also, Ida will send you an email with some timelines and deadlines for that. But take the time to really refine your manifesto and also refine your story canvas. Then what's coming up is in online sessions is then on 15th of May, we'll have a masterclass on AI visualization. So we have an experienced art director who, from the start of AI, already experimented with visualization techniques. So that should be great. Also practical in tips and tricks to use. Then we have, at the same day, we'll have an introduction masterclass on pitching. So how to tell your story live in 3 minutes or even in 1 minute elevator pitch. We have also an external trainer for that. And that intro presentation and kind of a white paper or also tips and tricks will be shared with you. And then we'll have, 3 days. You'll be divided in groups, but those are the days that are designated for the pitch training follow-up. And that means that by then you'll have already a pitch prepared, and the trainer will kind of give feedback on that. And that is also in preparation for actually the marketplace event in September. So a month before you all come to Amsterdam, or at least some of you come to Amsterdam for the grand finale, there will be, in the afternoon, there will be a live pitch training. And then the day after you have the marketplace. So that's a good moment to kind of, tell your story to all kind of people in basically 1 minute. Then we'll have on storytelling and prototyping, online check-ins on 17, 18, and 19 June. That means that by then you should have made quite some steps with having made your aside of the shoebox prototype, making your first or maybe even your second prototype and having that tested as well, and also for storytelling. So having imagery, having a good text ready for that date. And in the meantime, again, Ida will send you, I guess, or on Friday or in the beginning of next week, a brief on that, also with my contact details, with my email. So if along the way you want to reach out or you have questions or you want to bounce something against me, that's really fine. So this is, you don't have to remember it, but to give you a picture, AI visualization, pitch training, and follow-up on storytelling and prototyping. Any questions? No? Okay, so I'm handing over to Inka to finish the session, and I'd like to thank you a lot for your active participation, and it gave me a lot of joy and fulfillment to see how fast you moved today, like yesterday, so very good. Thanks a lot. I will stop sharing.
Thank you, Dagan.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone also from my side for participating. I hope you learned something. Of course, if you have any questions regarding what you have learned within these 3 days or regarding the program, the Europe Challenge in general, you all have my emails. You all have heard from me, so don't hesitate to send me an email with any questions anytime. We will send you in the upcoming days a short survey to fill in about this online 3-day online summit, and also, as Dagan already mentioned, the dates and some homeworks. So you can even you can use your skills that you have learned here a bit more. Another live meeting for librarians will be in September in Amsterdam. So I hope that at least with some of you, we will finally meet in person, because I am really thrilled how you participated in this online meeting. But as you can imagine, live, it is always better also, not just because of us, but also that you can discuss everything with each other and you can meet other participants and other community representatives. So yeah, we will also inform you on the Amsterdam marketplace in upcoming weeks. What Luando left with me when she was having the introduction in the morning was the question what libraries can be in this time in Europe. You already mentioned some things. You mentioned safe spaces. She said a shade, a space where you can feel comfortable, like in the middle of a forest. Someone said beacon of hope. Catherine, I think, said uncommercial space, a space where you are not judged. Also, someone said union, or a place of collectivity and connectivity as well, for sure. What I have been hearing throughout this throughout today and your writing manifestos and cover stories, I also heard repeatedly things like garden or playground or place where we can spend fun time together, or place where we can nicely and kindly challenge each other, place where we can dance together, or where people can blossom, not only the late bloomers, but everyone. So yeah, I would like you to keep this image in your head, that your projects really can be the gardens that help people blossom. And even though we sometimes ask the difficult questions like, am I really helping, or am I spending my time well? I believe you all do. And we all are doing what we can to make at least our neighborhoods better. So thank you for that. Thank you very much to everyone. Thanks that we are also bringing some other ideas from you. And yeah, if you really, anytime, if you want to share anything with us, we will be very grateful for that. So thanks a lot. Okay, so enjoy your days, and thanks once again.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.